Okay, so hear me out. Okay, if like in RE7, okay, can y'all see that? So in RE7, Ethan dies, right? He's dead. This is maybe explaining the DLCs. I've never played the DLC of this game. I never want to play the DLC. I don't. I buy a game once, and I tend to never buy anything else for it unless I am just super engrossed in it. And the story for this game is good enough on its own. But anyways, Ethan dies. Okay, Ethan's dead in Resident Evil 7. Okay, him. Okay, so the events of that game take place. So Ethan bones Mia, have Rose. Okay, they have Rose. Okay. Well, Ethan is like a spore creature, right? He's like the mold, okay? So like how the hell is he, like, this might get vulgar, but like how did he have sex and have a kid with Mia unless Mia was pregnant before the events of Resident Evil 7, in which if she was, then damn, Rose went through a lot in the womb, okay? That's a lot of stuff going on. Rose got a beating there, or Mia got a beating there, okay? But anyways, he is the spore mold. So let's just say he is still. Let's just say he is still doing the do while he is the spore. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess they implied it there at the end of the game, but that means Rose is also mold, or like 50% mold, right? That's why they called her Evelyn there. Okay. But then that also means, because she was also rebirthed from the mold by Mother Miranda. Okay, so um, Mother M birth from mold. Okay, she does that at the end of the game. That's what she was doing there at the end when we came to get Rose, when we came to save Rose. Okay, so obviously Rose has powers. Okay, Rose has mold powers. So like Rose has mold powers. But Miranda said the, what is it? The Metamucite. So the Metamucite catalogs, right? So it so the Metamucite catalogs everyone, which means that Ethan is saved. Okay, so Ethan is dead in the sense of a physical entity, but he is alive through Rose, right? That's why at the end there, so when she says, I know that when the guy there says, you're a lot like your father, you're a lot like him, and she says, I know, it's because she can communicate with him. So Rose and Ethan can communicate through mold. Can do it through mold. Okay. So she has, I'm assuming, the same. So she probably has regenerative powers, and she probably also has the power to, I'm assuming, some type of manipulative power. And then maybe she has the power to manipulate those soldiers, those bioweapons. Like, let's put possible. bio weapon counter, right? So I'm not sure what the BSAA is, right? But I'm assuming like so BSAA, I think that's what they called him there, is probably bad guy, right? I'm pretty sure the BSAA is a subgroup of Umbrella, a breakaway of Umbrella. But so pretty sure the BSAA is supposed to be the bad guys now. So that means that if Chris has another job for her, or somebody has another job for her, I'm assuming Chris, that means Chris splintered. So like Chris, so Chris probably splintered, and Rose is helping. And then I would assume we get an involved game next. So like next would either be a continuation of who is there left to be continued? So in Resident Evil 6, you're playing as damn. Okay, is Resident Evil 6? Hold on, I gotta Google it. Is RE6 the one where you're playing as the cops? Okay, you're playing as Leon S. Kennedy, Chris Redfield, Ada Wong, and that other guy, the funky guy with the weird run. Yeah, okay. That's the really long one. Man, from 2012, geez. So I don't know how that game ends. I haven't played that game. I don't know. I played it with my brother at one point way in the past. Might have still been on a PS3. Might have been just when the PS4 released. I don't remember. But next game is probably either going to be a Chris focused game. So it's either going to be a Chris focused or maybe even a Rose focused game. And I feel like we're going to get to it says the father's story is over, which implies that the daughter's story begins. Okay, so I feel like we're going to get a lot of lore into like the different types of entities in this game. I want to say cosmic entities, but it's not really cosmic. It's more of a scientific entity. So I think Rose will be a catalyst. I think Rose will be a catalyst into exploring the more like the more how would, I mean I don't even know how you say it, the more mythic direction, the more I don't know, like the more out there side of things, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's my little breakdown. Um, I may be, an absolute nut job, or maybe it makes some sense. Maybe somebody out there can tear me down. I'll post this part. I'll post this whiteboard part as its own individual. Dang, can I get this centered? Ah, yep. There's the whiteboard. I'll post this all again. I'll read it out one more time. So Ethan dies in Resident Evil 7. Ethan and Mia have Rose, but Ethan is a spore or mold creature, which means Rose is at least 50% mold. But then in Resident Evil Village, Mother Miranda rebirths Rose from the mold in the hopes that she becomes Evelyn. But because Rose is already part mold, she can't become Evelyn because she's already intertwined within that thing and she's been cataloged within it. So that means Rose must have some type of mold powers. And the Metamucite, like I just said a second ago, the Metamucite catalogs all creatures, all people, everything that's been in contact with. which means Ethan is saved memory within Rose. That means Rose and Ethan could possibly communicate with each other through the mold. That is why when that guy says you're so much like him, she agrees, saying, I know. She never met him. She would only hear him through stories. But if she could communicate to him through the mold, it would understand why she'd say, I'm just like him. Okay? So we're going to assume that Rose, because she has the powers of the Metamucite, she would have similar powers to Ethan. So she would have some type of regenerative power via the whatchamacallits, or she might even just have natural regeneration powers. Though that would call into question the I have a sniper, I can take the shot now. Because even Mother Miranda and all the other creatures had a limit to their power, to their regeneration. Same with Ethan. Ethan did reach a limit when his heart was taken out. So it is obviously a limit to that regenerative limit, or to that regenerative power. But she also probably has manipulative powers in which she can manipulate in some which way Metamucite, or maybe things that maybe she can influence things if she can get inside their heads, or like anything. She's also a possible bioweapon counter for the BSAA. And when I say the BSAA, I'm assuming that is the bad guy because they have sent the bioweapons into the village. But I'm also pretty sure the BSAA is a subsection of Umbrella Corporation, like a mercenary or mercenary group under the reach of Umbrella Corporation. I feel like because Chris Redfield says plot a course to BSAA European headquarters, he is probably going to become a splinter group. He probably disagrees with the way they've handled things and is going to start trying to work against them. So I assume he splinters and Rose starts to help him. That is the, that is the job she's going on here when the guy comes to pick her up. So my assumption is the next game. Maybe it's already been announced. Maybe they're already working on it. I don't know. I've never looked at it. I haven't even thought of a Resident Evil game until today. Since playing RE4 when it first dropped. Like I played RE4 the remake when it first dropped, same week with my brother, and then I talked to him last night about Resident Evil Village. It'd be a cool long playthrough to do. But next game is probably going to be Chris Redfield focused, or Rose focused, if not the two combined. And I think Rose will be a great catalyst jumping into the future of the series and exploring the more super out there topics of like these people being immortal to a certain extent. You're not, like Leon Kennedy is just a really super highly trained operative. That's all that's special about him. Chris Redfield, he's got, like goober strength, but he's also just a normal dude who is a highly trained operative, if that makes sense. He is just like a really skilled man. Ada Wong, she's hot. Okay? That's all it takes for me. That's a joke. No, she's also a super highly trained operative that knows all these crazy things and can do all this crazy stuff. So, I think taking the more... So, Resident Evil 7 and 8, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and Resident Evil 8 Village, both took jumps into the more, would it be called supernatural? I don't even think it'd be supernatural. It'd be like, it's some type of science. It'd be like some form of scientific approach to the thing. But pretty much, I'm trying to think of a way to word this. Pretty much what it has done is it has really opened up a means for them to explore more out of the world topics. So it's not some biological weapon that's gotten out of containment, that's turned Raccoon City into this hellish war zone where, shambling walking corpses and a giant man in a trench coat are following these Raccoon City police officers. No, they can turn it into something much crazier than that. They can go super psychological routes. They can have they can have games where like it's all about like fighting a mind virus. Like you're in your head and like you're fighting against takeover. Like just they can just explore outlandish topics like that, and I think that's super cool. And I think these two games have really opened it up into that. But this video is almost 5 hours long. I'll leave this in the long play video, and then I'll also cut this out into its own little thing, and I'll post this separately. I might go ahead and I'll set both of them to publish on the same day, about an hour apart. How about that? So that the video has a little bit of time to be out there. I might premiere this little one, because premieres are fun. I can sit in there, and then if anybody comes by, I can talk to them. So maybe people can, you know, talk about my harebrained ideas even while I'm, discussing them. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, do all that wonderful, wonderful stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. Adios and goodbye.